What's up and welcome back to Rollin Jays. I am Coley Mick. I am here with the one and only cousin Stiz, Boot of the Ball Knower, and Jake Yazzie. We are powered by Underdog Fantasy. I am currently furious at Kristaps Porzingis. We told you to take your time. Just relax. Slow your roll. We're all set right now. Does he listen? No, he doesn't. He doesn't at all, but I hope you at home listen when I tell you to go download the Underdog app, enter promo code BANNER19, get yourself $1,000 in bonus cash and a free pick when you sign up. Again, with that promo code Rollin Jays. I do hope you're listening. And Stiz, why isn't Kristaps listening to us? What is his problem?
He's excited, man. He's excited to get back on that floor and play with the boys. I can't blame him. There's a lot of winning going on. People chucking threes left and right. Peyton Pritchard having all the fun in the world, bro. I can't blame my boy KP for going out there. But I'm not gonna lie. With him on the floor, bro, the game just looks so easy.
Crazy.
It just looks so easy, bro. Like the game looks. I wasn't worried, obviously, but coming into the game. But the one thing I was thinking about, I wasn't really worried about it because I feel like we would have pulled the double away anyways. But the one thing I was thinking about was that third quarter and what we were going to do in the third quarter. We're gonna let these guys get back into it. You know, we're going to come back with lazy feet, but that didn't happen. I feel like the energy of KP, bro, the spacing, everything, man, the rim protection, everything, it just looks a lot easier with them in the game. But I'm not going to lie, he does need to relax a little bit, bro. My boy looked a little like he was, skating a little gimpy on the feet, and I understand it. I understand the excitement. You got back on the floor tonight, but take a few games off, KP, because we need you.
Buddha, what did you see out of our most Latvian son, Kristaps Porzingis, out there?
So I thought we were building a little momentum. Like it felt like the team was listening to us, right? They eliminated some of the 2-for-1 shots. Porzingis was staying put, right? But it was good to see him back. I mean, ultimately, if this team's going to reach its ceiling and its potential, you're going to need Kristaps playing at a high level. I didn't think he looked great tonight. I think people's expectations were pretty low. But I hold Celtic players and especially, their starting five to a really high caliber. But I think Stiz mentioned it, right? Two things. The first thing is spacing offensively. And it doesn't really matter like what defenses do. When you come down and you run high ball screen with Kristaps, you're either allowing one of your two wings to get to the rim or you're allowing an open three at the top of the paint for Kristaps. And maybe that shot wasn't falling in that first quarter tonight, but ultimately that's a shot that the Celtics want and the Celtics are going to continue to get. And then outside of the spacing is the rim protection. I don't think Zubac is a good matchup for him in terms of like first game back, trying to be physical, but I really do think that his rim protection and, how he's steering guys away from the paint is something that you're going to see against LA and you're going to see against other teams in the East as well.
And I'll be honest, the shot really doesn't have to be falling on a consistent basis because teams still have to account for it, whether or not it's going in on that night. And I do think you saw a lot of that tonight. D. White was getting a lot of good looks. Drew was getting a lot of good looks. They had a stretch where they were putting Zubac on Drew Holiday, being like, let's hope and pray this does something. It didn't. And Stiz, to your point, that third quarter, they came out exactly like the top of the first quarter where they were like, let's feed Kristaps, let's get some heaves up. The Celtics weren't scoring at all for the first 4 or 5 minutes, and it felt like, all right, here comes a run to tighten it. And my brain has to recalculate. I look up. 15-point leads still. It's like, all right, I guess it's a tall mountain to climb when the boys go out and have a 51-point second quarter. I believe they set the franchise record for threes in a quarter. I know they tied it at 11. I believe they got that 12th to fall.
Damn.
Unbelievably dominant. Everything. Kristaps out there. And again, no Al tonight. he was on the bench looking like a proud papa. He was having a blast. Sick my ass. I know they have to lie to put him on the injury report, but if he's sick, why is he there if he's sick? Get him away from everyone. If we learn nothing over these last 4 years, get the man some rest. Obviously, he's fine. He's having a blast out there. And so am I. Like it's we had some tough weeks. We lost 3 whole games. And we're back-to-back shows, undefeated streaks. Quick 6-0 over these last 2 shows. And I'm still angry because while we're going to talk more about this Clippers shellacking, the fucking Minnesota Timberwolves play-by-play guys, what in the fuck is their problem? You come into our building.
That made me happy because he was so sick. He was
vexed.
So sick. It made me so happy. Like, yo, Jaylen, keep putting these bitches up, bro. Keep doing your thing, bro. It made me happy, man.
These Midwestern yahoos come into our building. They haven't won in this building in 17 goddamn years. They come into our building and start questioning. He hit the first one and the guy couldn't believe. He's like, oh, brother, here we go with this nod. Like Shaq was shooting half court shots and swishing them. Like, what are you talking? He's shooting 25%. He's taken 4 shots. He's hit one of them. It's the beginning of the season. What are these stats you're talking about? I'm glad Jaylen saw it and I'm glad he was furious because it definitely seemed like tonight he had a couple of plays. He had the and 1-3. He had some finishes through traffic. He started flexing. He was buckling the seatbelt. Buddha, do you think it's a good idea for teams to piss off Jaylen Brown?
Probably not. I mean, I think first off, when you listen to like other like commentators, like you learn a lot about like their team specifically. But I also think you realize like I don't think those guys watch the Celtics just because you have like a packet that says, oh, from the top of the key, he shoots 4 for 26, like whatever it is. No, like he was taking open threes. He took 4 open threes, right off the bat. You would think they would cover him by then. Then he gets Rudy Gobert, on the 5th one, and it's like between the legs, quick move, hits it, fade away. I mean, if there was ever a heat check moment, that was it for Jaylen Brown. And that was just a really fun way to start the game. And he was clearly ticked at something because I don't know what, again, I know Anthony Edwards was on Team USA. Maybe that had something to do with it. I know the commentators are pissing him off. Maybe that had something to do with it. But 5 for 5 right off the bat. I think they were up 15-12 at that point. And Ray Allen was the only other Celtic that hit 5 3-pointers at a quarter for the Celtics. So pretty impressive start for JB. And as a guy who, hasn't been shooting it, as well as we would expect him to. Again, like we said, we're going to hold him to high standards. It was really nice to see him get off to a hot start and, raise his 3-point percentage on the season up. I think it was like 3 or 4 points just on those 5 shots alone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he went 7 of 10 for the game. Second fastest ever in NBA history to hit 5 threes, just dumping on them. And him and Ant love going against each other. I was thinking about this, and I want to know where the boys stand on this. Are the Timberwolves like our best rival right now in the sense that the last 2 years specifically, 3 very close games, 2 I believe went to overtime. Celtics are 2-1 in those games. Even in this game, we only win by 2. It does seem like it's a fun matchup, even with the trades that they made this offseason. They still have McDaniels, like Buddha was talking about. They just seem to really enjoy playing against one another. And I know it's the West. We're only going to see them one more time unless they make the finals. I know we'll be there. It does feel like that they both teams really get up for those matchups, whereas other teams really don't, even if the talent's on the level.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those teams, I think that those guys definitely, for us, is that one matchup that it always seems to go down to the wire, bro. I love watching that matchup, bro. It's the most exciting one for us, especially in the West. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anybody. Well, them and the Warriors, obviously, but
sure.
I want to get over that hump as well too. So I want those two to definitely be our rivals coming out the West. But piggybacking on the Jaylen point, I think like the thing that these teams don't, these other teams don't understand, and these other broadcasters, they don't. I feel like they definitely don't watch our sports teams. But what Jaylen does, he's such a dynamic scorer for us It's not all about the 3-point with him like what it is for a lot of our guys. He's not just looking for the 3-point shot. He's more likely to take it in the paint. He's more likely to try to mix it up, get that turnaround, Jay. That's more of his game. So like I understand his 3-point numbers not always reflecting what the rest of our team's looking like, because the rest of our team that's just what it is, you know?
Right.
You also know like immediately that a team doesn't watch the Celtics because you hear it every single time. They're like, no one talks about this guy, Derek White. Like he makes all the winning plays. Like, no, literally everyone in Boston talks about Derek White. That guy's a fucking winner, and he makes every play necessary for the Celtics to win. It's no surprise that they took home the title last year as soon as they handed him the keys to the convertible.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. You do still see even like the Bleacher Reports, all the NBA like Instagram and Twitter accounts, they still call him underrated. It's one of these things where we're so far past that. Like we're so far. Now he's like, am I the most athletic player in the team? Like those are the types of conversations he's moved on to. He's become bored with any other conversations about himself. And I also saw the numbers earlier. Let me see if I can pull it up, because Derek White, not only is he not underrated, but he has become maybe the best fourth quarter player in basketball. Let me see if I can find this, because this stat I saw earlier was shocking.
Cole, while you look for the stat, I feel like Derek White for the Celtics right now is, he's kind of taking on the Marcus Smart role of, and hear me out on this one. He kind of takes the role of like, he takes shots that you're like, holy crap, that's a really difficult shot. And you're like, no, I don't shoot that. And then it goes in. You're like, Derek White, automatic, like never a doubt. Like he takes some really, really difficult shots that are contested off of threes, off the dribble. I mean, the level of difficulty is insane on some of these shots.
He's
crazy,
a gamer, man.
Mm-hmm. They're always quick too. Like the ball, he's rarely even looking at the hoop when he catches the ball. He just has such an elite understanding of where he is on the court and what he needs to do to get those shots up. Like it's so unassuming when he's about to shoot. Defenders don't even have a time to get a hand up because no one shoots like that. Why are you looking at the scorer's table and all of a sudden the ball's up? Like, what do you do? What is wrong with you? But Dougie Fresh 88 on Reddit said, whenever Derek White shoots in the fourth quarter, you just know it's going in. So I decided to check the stats. These are all stats from just the fourth quarter. In the 2023-24 regular season, he shot 50% overall and 45.7% from three. In the 24 playoffs, he shot 51.1% overall and 55.2% from three. So far this season, and that doesn't include tonight, obviously, he's shooting 48.8% overall and 46.2% from three, just in the fourth quarter alone. I know Isaiah was the king of the fourth for a long time, and he did it in a very different way. But I do feel like we have ourselves a new king of the fourth, and this is where Kristaps being folded back in is very interesting, because, of course, JT is a superstar. He wants to get his looks. He wants to get his shots. No doubt. Jaylen, even in the Timberwolves game, hits a big three, blows the kiss of death. Even that was created because of Derek White getting the ball to Drew and kicking it around. But Derek White and Kristaps, when they need a bucket that involves a two-man game, there's no two I want to see with the ball in their hands more. I want to see that high pick and roll. Derek White is going to make the right decision every single time, whether it's him shooting the ball, driving to the rack, or hitting Kristaps. Whatever he wants to do, I know is the right decision.
No, absolutely. And I think that's why he has that ultimate green light. And that's why he puts up the shots that he puts up. It's just because he makes so many intangible plays throughout the game, all game long, that the team has ultimate confidence in him to put up those shots when it's crunch time, bro. When everything's unraveling, you know that this guy is just going to make the right play every single time. It shows.
You're so right. Like he has the green light from Joe. He has the confidence, and it shows from him to Pritchard to Hauser. Whenever they have the ball, like if they take a contested three, it's not like the whole bench is rolling their eyes like, oh man, I can't believe that guy's taking more of our shots. And Coley, the fact that you can sit there and we have two top 15 players in the NBA, call it, right? But the fact that you can sit there and you can say, there's no two guys I'd rather more running the pick and roll than Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis. It just speaks to how freaking good this basketball team is. You didn't even mention 2 top 15 NBA players. You mentioned 2 guys who are essentially playing roles who would be, massive stars on teams across the NBA.
1,000%. And it's like, if I want an isolation bucket, I definitely want one of those other 2 guys with the ball in their hand. But if it's action, and because even if Jaylen and part of the reason it works, if JB and JT are in opposite corners or wherever they are, the defense is still looking at them. They're not going to send a third. Like, you're going to leave one of them wide open. You can leave. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to leave Drew Holiday wide open. And that's a terrible idea. Even if his percentages are down this year, like, it's just not a great solution. Yeah, it's maniacal. It truly is. I saw this question asked earlier, and it's kind of like a self-audit. If you were tasked with trying to stop the Celtics, Buddha and Stiz, what is your how would you go about that? What defense are you calling? Like, who are you trying to funnel the ball to?
Do I get to pick players from the past? Do I get to assemble a team?
That's all we run our test.
You have to assemble a team. You have to assemble a team like that. You can be like, all right, this guy is guarding this guy, and this guy is guarding, because that's the only way it can happen, bro. There's no way. I was even hearing it on the broadcast today. They were talking about the comparison of this team versus the 2016 Warriors team, when they felt like there was like, when they shot threes, it felt like more surgical. When we shoot threes, it feels like a sledgehammer. And it's so true. It's just like, bro, it's 1 through 5. Literally, it's 1 through 5, bro. It's not 2 guys. It's not 1 guy. It's not 3 guys. It's all 5 guys. When they're clicking, what can you do about it, bro?
Yeah, Stiz, you bring up the 16 Warriors, like, Bogut, right? Like, okay, he couldn't shoot the 3. Draymond had stretches throughout that dynasty where he did shoot it well, but he was not a consistent 3-point shooter. Sean Livingston is a great example of a player who fit that team perfectly, but, ultimately he wasn't a guy who could stretch it beyond the mid-range. So they didn't have the firepower, especially when the Celtics can bring a Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser off the bench, which I know, again, Warrior fans will roll their eyes, but no. It's legit. We're talking about a future 6 man of the year, candidate in Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser, who I would say is a top 5 shooter in the world. Call me crazy, but I really do think he is. Coley, I want to get to your point on how I would stop the Celtics. I think the best, and I don't think people know this about me.
Sledgehammer, an actual sledgehammer.
Exactly. Just have the Warhammer ready to go. No, but I don't think people know this about me. I'm a Syracuse guy. I wasn't a Newhouse graduate.
Brother.
No.
Okay,
I wasn't a Newhouse graduate. Okay, so I wasn't. I was taking the athlete classes. I was in classes with Malachi Richardson and Tyler Lydon and all the Syracuse athletes, because I was a dumbass just like them. But with that being said, I'm a big believer in the 2-3 zone. I'm a big believer in the 2-3 zone. Number one, I think it takes people out of rhythm. Number 2, I don't think a lot of basketball teams prepare to play against the 2-3 zone. And where someone is weak, right, is the middle. And I got to be honest, like, if you're playing against the Boston Celtics, I want to funnel things to the middle because they shoot 53s a game. I would want teams to attack me on the inside before the outside because, again, 2 is less than 3. So I'm running 2-3 zone. I'm pulling the Eric Spoelstra. I'm going to slow this team down. I'm going to get long rebounds and run out in transition, and that's how I'm going to try to beat the Boston Celtics. I'm going to lose by 25, but I'm going to die trying.
I was going to say, you're going to get 4-1 in the second round, in the first round of the playoffs. Is exactly what's going to happen. Like that was the strategy, 500 strategy for Spo before we got Kristaps. Kristaps was the zone breaker. Like, go ahead, do what. I mean, you even saw Dallas to an extent try it in that game 1, and Kristaps would just shoot over Josh Green like that. He did it again tonight to Harden. Harden tried to bait that shit. Like in JT, I love playing out of the high post. So I do think in the past, because I don't completely disagree, 2-3 does fuck up pro teams because I haven't seen it in so long. And in college teams, they only see it when they go to Syracuse. That's the only place they see it. So
that's about it.
AAU high school, you see it a ton. You'll see 2-1-2s. You'll see extended zones with traps. You just do not see that at the NBA level. So for stretches, it definitely will fuck with some teams. You saw the Celtics last year played a lot of 3-2 when they were trying out different stuff, and it would fuck them up because they would lack communication and give up a lot of easy buckets because it's not easy to master. That's why Syracuse was as I'm trying to say this respectfully, like above average for as long as they were. I think that's fair.
I actually have a question because I actually want audience participation on this. When you play in the Syracuse intramural, both teams, every single team, is a 64 team tournament. Every single team plays a 2-3 zone. And I think the first thing is because nobody is in shape enough to play man-to-man defense, like up and down. But every single team played against the 2-3 zone. Does that happen on other schools, or is that just a Syracuse thing? Like you go to the Saturday afternoon, you want to play pickup. Yeah, it's going to be man-to-man. But once you have actual organized games with striped shirts on the sidelines, people run in 2-3 zone.
It depends. Like if I, and this is me talking about a different lifetime, I haven't run pickup consistently in like a decade at this point because I'm an old man and I'm close to death. But when I would play, if I was running a court, like I'm talking 6, 7, 8 straight games of wins. Yeah, by game 6, I'm playing zone. Like it's we're outside. It's hot. It's July. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to start conserving some energy. If I know I only have one game, I'm playing man. Like that's just what I'm doing.
No, I'm with you 100%. My Boys and Girls Club little travel league career tells us the same thing. We ran a lot of triangle offense and 2-3 defenses. That was about it. Oh, we were in 3-2 sometimes, but yeah, that was about it.
3-2 is so funny at that age. Like, who are you playing? Who are you playing? That's scorching from beyond the rim.
Bro, I don't even want to go back to that day. I got cooked.
Oh, no.
The one time we played 3-2 was because I was getting fried.
Well, AAU, we used to play a lot of press that fell back into a 2-1-2. And I would patrol the middle, which I preferred that as opposed to 2-3 because I didn't like just standing under the rim. I think you give up too much space that way.
Cole, you talk about controlling the middle. You got a little bit of a Zubac in you. And he was a monster tonight in the first half. Like, he is not like Kristaps being out for that long and then him coming back to have to face a guy like Zubac. Again, I don't think he's the greatest basketball player, but you want to talk about a guy where you're going to walk out with ice packs on your shoulders and knees because that guy is going to absolutely essentially bring the sledgehammer.
He trucked him early, and I called the police. Like, I get that man away from my sweet Kristaps. Like, that was not what I needed to see. I've seen people, like, we're going to talk about the upcoming schedule. We have a nice 5 games and 6 nights coming up next week, something disgusting like that. And it's like, yeah, Giannis is going to do that. It's weird. I'm in a weird place where it's like, you can't put him in bubble wrap. You know what I mean? He does need to just go play. And if something weird happens, something weird happens. Obviously, no one wants that, but his height's the issue. His length, his fucking long ass legs are the issue. It's not going to be consistent wear and tear. It's going to be one freak thing, like how he got hurt in the playoffs. So there's no planning for that. You know what I mean? It's like when Mike Vick got hurt, it wasn't because he ran every single time. It was just one freak hit where he broke his leg in the backfield. When RG3, it wasn't a confluence of hits. It was one hit. So that's kind of how I view KP. It's like, if he's going to be out there, he's going to be out there.
No, 100%. Like I said earlier, it just looked like, just stop running, walk down the court almost, you know what I'm saying? It almost looked like that at points, bro. It got my heart beating. I'm happy that we pulled him when we pulled him. I'm happy he still got in, you know, I'm happy he got to play today, bro. And he got,
sure,
as the game went on, it looked like he got more comfortable in there. But like I said, it just the eye test for me today, it looked like he played as well as he could today. But just, you know, take your time, bro. We don't necessarily need you to come out and play tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Stiz, can you say that one more time?
Take your time, bro.
Thank you.
Take your time, KP, please, bro.
I thought Porzingis played a lot more than I thought. And I know Tillman didn't really get a good run tonight. And when Cornette and Horford are both sitting out, by the way, you can tell it really wasn't that big of a game because of the outfit of the bench players who weren't playing. Luke Cornette was in jeans and a sweatshirt tonight, so clearly they weren't taking this one that serious.
Usual Luke Cornette. That's you feel me?
Especially
if he's leading the everybody sit tonight, you feel me? I think that's good swag. That's good uniform.
All right, I'll take your word for it. But
I'm sure Luke led that. Like, yo, we wearing jeans tonight, y'all.
Yeah, we're cool.
Casual Fridays.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sunday's best, if anyone's watching on YouTube, Coley is in his Sunday best right now.
Bro, come on,
this whole thing,
fire, man. Green Lantern.
The Tatum Jordan cement print cardigan. Come on now,
fire,
I had to.
It's fire, man.
When the boys have the longest winning streak in the league going, like you gotta show up and show out for them. You just gotta show your appreciation, which I feel like I'm pretty appreciative. We beat the Wizards again. Thoughts?
I got a couple thoughts.
All right, let's hear them.
Bring them up, Buddha.
Tatum, 0 for 10 from 3. But what I loved about his game was he didn't let it affect him. And in the fourth quarter, he went back-to-back to the post on that kid like Keontae George, and he got his same workout shot 2 times in that fourth quarter. It was like he knew what he needed to do, in those big moments. And even when you were down 10 in the first half, there was no panic, there was no pressure, there was composure, right? And I saw it looked like a real veteran team who, did they have their best against Washington on a Friday night? No, not really. I think they could have pushed the plus minus a little bit more in their favor. But at the end of the day, like all they needed to do was go in there and get a win on the road in the NBA. You take it.
No, absolutely. I'm with you, Buddha, bro. It was Washington, man. I knew we was getting that dub. Good one, boys. Like you said, 0 for 10 on the but the resiliency, that's my favorite thing, man, is when these guys decide to when the shots aren't falling, we're gonna put our head down and get to the basket, man. That's my favorite thing to see. So good one, boys.
I truly believe the sign of a great team, not a good team, but actually a great elite team, is can you still win when you're playing like dog shit, where absolutely nothing is going your way? Like think of all the Brady wins, all the regular season wins he stacked when it was just like, man, we had no business winning that game, but you keep it close, and at the end, you make a couple plays the other team can't make. You walk out of there with a dub. You get some coachable, teachable moments coming out of it. Yeah, we should beat the Wizards. Like, if we played the Wizards 100 times, we should be, plus 5,000, the plus minus after that. Like, it should be absolute bloodbath every time. That's just not how it works. You're coming off the White House. Everyone's feeling good. Bill Nye's in the building. There's a lot of emotions at play. And what I did like about that game, you said Tatum was getting to the rim. When Jaylen checked back in that fourth quarter, he was the one who was like, all right, like Stiz was saying earlier, it's time to get to the rim again. The shots aren't falling for any of us right now, boys. Let's get to the rim. We know the Wizards want to foul. We know they're a poorly disciplined defensive team. Let's get to the rim. Let's put pressure on them. Who are we afraid of? Who who can't we score on here? Let's continuously, that's the other sledgehammer they have. They've got the sledgehammer with the 1,000 threes, and then they've got the crowbar that they keep in the trunk, which is, we also can drive as well as anyone. We have
2 wings who do this the best.
Yeah, like Tatum and Jaylen, when they came into the league, they had the tools to be these kind of players in terms of getting to the rim. Jaylen wasn't able to finish because he was still growing into his body and his athleticism. Finding that NBA stop and go, that's the speed and pace the NBA takes a lot of guys a lot of time. Some guys never find it. Jaylen found it. And now that he has that touch around the rim, like Stiz said, that fake, that half moon, that fade away, all those tools in his bag, finishing with the left, finishing with the right. JT used to go in as weak as can be, get stripped, ball would go out of bounds, ball would be a turnover. Now he doesn't. He uses his broad ass shoulders, gets by everybody, and finishes with that length over everyone else. they've become complete offensive powerhouses. And when the shot isn't falling, it really isn't an issue for everyone's, they shoot too many threes. And this is the national audience. They shoot too many threes. It's not sustainable. Where's the inside game? It's there. Watch them. They love to finish with the inside game. They did against Minnesota too.
Tatum in transition, he's taking it to another level. Like, he goes in and he's not fucking around. Like, he gets to the rim. I feel like in the past he would have had like, a finesse move, try to put spin on the ball, trying to, lay it off the glass. Like, there was one play where he did a Euro step and he just went up two hands, no messing around, and just slammed it on the George guy. Like, at the end of the day, like, he doesn't really care how flashy it is anymore. He just wants the 2 points. And, especially for a guy who has grown into his body in year 7, 8, what is he, year 7, year 8 in the league now? Like, he is physically there and he's making guys look like their age, right? You play on the court with Jason Tatum, you know who the 21-year-old is. You know who the 20-year-old is, because that guy, both of the wings are just really imposing physically.
Yeah, man. Super strong, but they're just dynamic, man. They're just dynamic, bro. We have the 2 most dynamic wings in the league right now. Honestly, I love it, bro. It's great, bro. It's great to have in the fourth quarter when the shots aren't falling. It's great to have when the shots are falling, bro. It makes our team this, bro. And then when we add KP like we do tonight, I just watched the game and I'm like, bro, why does this look so easy? Like, why does it look so easy? You know what I'm saying?
Jaylen hit the fadeaway dagger in Kuzma's eye. It wasn't even bad defense, and it just doesn't matter. He gets to his spot, long 2, cardinal sin, doesn't matter. Bottom of the net. He's put so much work in to just developing a bag of go-to moves. I don't know what you're supposed. You got to kind of just hope he fucks up. Like, there's not much you can do about it. He's hitting threes in Gobert's eye. That shouldn't happen. Like that.
That should happen.
It should. Like, Gobert's definitely much worse at the perimeter. I'm shocked he didn't try and go by him, because he likes doing that to centers. He likes dunking on Rudy Gobert. But just even the angle, like, he has to come across his body just to find the space to do it. Like, I'm so impressed constantly watching those two, and I don't know. We're very lucky.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, again, no one gives 2 shits about the Washington Wizards. My second point on the Wizards is, what the fuck is their court? I know it's the NBA Cup, and I know I've been whiny about this all season, but the weird red and then this random like hand coming through the middle of the court, it just completely threw me off. It was just not just didn't look good on my TV screen. I don't know if it looked good in person, but it was disgusting.
All the courts needed, bro. All the courts need to get better, bro. They just need to redesign them this weekend. Give us something new next weekend, please.
They just don't look good.
What was that, bro?
They just don't look good. The other thing is, when you shoot 46 threes and the Wizards shoot 28 and you win the turnover battle by 7, like, I'm sorry, the math doesn't work. Like, you're not going to win basketball games. It doesn't matter how poorly the Celtics play. You can play out of your mind. If we shoot 18 more threes and you turn it over 7 more times, I don't know how you're going to beat us.
But that's the thing. It's like, then if you do shoot those threes, it's like, then we trick you. You know what I'm saying? We trick you into playing the game we want to play, bro. And it's just like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's tough. It's tough if you play this team. Tough. You're damned.
You are damned. You do have to fall into that trick. Like, we look at that Heat game from the playoffs last year. They had one chance at winning a game, and it was having a historic hot night from 3, and then they try it the next game and they go right back to losing by 20. Like, that, you are damned if you try it, but you really don't have any other options.
I think other fans too, like, they listen to us and they're like, like, they overrate the Celtics. Like, I seriously do not know how a team is going to beat them 4 out of 7. Anyone can be beat on any given night. I'm not saying that. And we could have fun 7-game series, but I just do not understand how a team is going to beat them 4 out of 7. It just, unless a massive injury happens, I don't see it.
Sure, yeah, no, at full health, it's kind of decided.
It's done, bro. Full health is done, bro. It's too much, man. It's too much.
We've we've been talking about the 2-for-1, and I tracked it in the Timberwolves game. I didn't track it tonight. It didn't feel bad. I know Drew hit a 3 with like 28 seconds left. I think that was the third quarter, which I like. That's a good time to take it. Like there was still plenty of time on the shot clock. You weren't rushing anything. It was a wide open look. That's all I care about. But in the Timberwolves game, our war against the 2-for-1 rages on, and it was on full display in the first 3 quarters. The Timberwolves attempted the 2-for-1 in the first quarter. They had an open Gobert dunk. Good for them. They immediately give up a wide open Peyton Pritchard 3.
I saw that. That was nice.
They're -1. They have all the time in the world. They get the ball to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who dribbles the air out of the ball and then throw up a wild lefty floater at the buzzer. Surprisingly not the shot you want. So the Timberwolves were -1 in their 2-for-1 attempt in the first quarter. Again, they lost this game by 2. Just so everyone remembers. The second quarter was bad for both teams. I don't know that either team was attempting anything of substance there. They both just wanted to go to halftime, it appeared. Chaos on both ends. And then the third quarter, the Celtics had the 2-for-1. Tatum jacked a 3. People didn't like that I phrased it like that. It wasn't a bad shot. However, he did play with the clock in his mind and rushed what would have been a better shot if he had taken 1 extra second. So that's why I said it was a jack 3. The Wolves come back down, get a wide open layup. I believe it was Dillingham. And then Tatum kind of just dribbled the air out of the ball, threw up some nonsense at the buzzer, much like the Alexander Walker play at the end of the first quarter. Celtics were -2 there. That in a one possession game, terrible 2-for-1 strategy will keep you in one possession games as opposed to, if we had just taken a 3-pointer there in our rhythm, regardless of what the clock said, well, now we're +5 at the end of the game. We're not really sweating it. It doesn't matter as much. These are the kind of things, small sample size, one game, something I'm trying to really keep an eye on because it pisses me off. It pisses me off to watch teams I don't just follow the bad math, the incomplete math that they think they have the advantage on.
Coley, especially when the team that we're talking about is so damn good offensively that they can get an open 3 whenever they want. And they're a top 5 defensive team in basketball as well. They can switch 1 through 5. Like, I would rather bet on my offense scoring on 1 possession and getting 1 stop than taking a fadeaway contested 3 and then having to, you give up an easy basket because you really don't think it's that important, and then you have to check Peyton Pritchard back in the game just to, sell some sell some tickets and get the crowd back into it. It's just like, I get the analytics behind it, but the players have taken it too far.
I was about to say, it's like that's their time to, yo, coach, I know you've been coaching all game, but this is us for 30 seconds. It's us. We're gonna draw something up and do it. That's what it looks like for the 2-for-1s. Every single time it's just like, yo, right. I'm gonna come down and set this real quick. And then when I throw it to you, do something. That's really what it looks like every single time, bro. Every single time.
I feel like 20 years ago, teams just had like a gentleman's agreement. Like, hey, I'm gonna take this shot with like 35 seconds left. You're gonna play out the whole 24, get whatever shot you want, and then we'll have like 10 seconds left for our final possession. Now someone takes a shot at 35. The other team's taking their shot by 32. And now you're taking yours by 29. Like you're in like a race to see who can have the 2-for-1.
Yeah, it's literally like a 3-for-2 with like 40 seconds left. It doesn't make any sense. I think teams take terrible shots and just end like really, really bad basketball to end quarters. It just has a general theme. Like, we're going to continue to shit on teams and we're going to continue to document that. Cole, great fucking work on that.
Yeah, tonight didn't matter really. You put up a 51 point second quarter and the game's over at half. Like we had, what was it, 78 points at halftime.
Coley, how about this? The Clippers in their last 4 games did not give up 100 points once. The Celtics scored 78 in the first half.
Yeah,
they were like first in like everything on defense, right? Coming into this in the last 5 game stretch.
Yeah. 2 5-0 teams, and yeah, the Clippers were playing on a back-to-back. So were we. Like
We had
couldn't give
Kristaps,
up.
man. We had the zone breaker, bro. We had the defense breaker. You know what I'm saying? He just makes the game. It just looks a lot more simple with him out there, man. Everybody looks more comfortable, honestly.
Yeah, no, it was they all seemed thrilled. Like the Celtics looked like they had so much more energy than the Clippers did tonight. And it was
on the back to back without Al, without
right.
Luke. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like they looked fresh as could be, ready to play with KP. And as the game went on, he started catching some lobs. He was looking like himself out there. He had some great contests defensively, which they've been sorely missing. It was nice to have him back out there. And then on the cherry on top of it all, Queta looks the best he's looked in a week, 2 weeks, maybe. He's punching the ball out of the air. He's catching lobs. He's finishing with some nice touch. There was one very funny possession where it was just him and Pritchard. Like Pritchard would throw him the ball and Queta immediately would throw it back. Like he was like, trust me, this is your ball, friend. That went on for the whole 24. They got up a terrible shot. It was not a good strategy, but it was very funny to watch. I hadn't considered how teams would react to, all right, we've been guarding Kristaps 5 out. Now they've put Queta in. He occupies a completely different space on the floor. It's kind of like we were just saying with the 2-3. We're used to playing this 5 out. Now all of a sudden they've got this lob threat. Queta goes out, puts up a stat line off the bench we haven't seen, I believe, league-wide, if not just Celtics-wide, since Rob Williams was coming off the bench for us some years ago. That kind of impact, if Queta's role is lessened and he's doing more in those minutes, I mean, good fucking luck.
Man, I feel like for Queta, dog, it just, like I said, bro, you have a 7-2 shot blocker behind you who could also shoot threes, bro. It just, come on, bro. Like, it just makes the game for you. Like, bro, I could just go out there and have fun. Like,
right.
I got this guy back here, bro. I got the general back here. I could literally go for every block and it's okay. I could gamble all the time and it's cool. Kristaps is right there to clean up, bro.
I do love Missoula sat him down on Sunday. Didn't play him on Sunday. He played in Washington and really was not good. Jordan Poole gave him some problems in the pick and roll. And I mean, ultimately, if you can't defend, you're not going to play. So they sit him down. They don't play him against Minnesota, and they play Tillman. I think Tillman got like 13, 14 minutes on Sunday. He got a decent run against, probably a top 5 competitor for the NBA title this year. But then I thought it was cool how they go back to Queta tonight. And even with, Porzingis returning, you bring this guy off the bench who probably every other team in the NBA is like, whoa, who the hell is that guy? But at the end of the day, like we talked about with our different bigs, they're matchup dependent. And yeah, you have to have a different defensive mindset when Queta's on the floor than Porzingis. And I do want to see those two play together. I want to see how that will work. I think having one on the perimeter and one inside, defensively, it could get a little bit tricky, but when you talk about matchups like Mobley and then Jared Allen in Cleveland, or even you go to a Minnesota, like, when you play them again, we go to Minnesota with a Randall, and a Gobert or a Naz Reid. Like, I would like to see those two playing together. It's worked with Horford and Porzingis. I want to see if it can work with a Queta and a Porzingis.
I was going to say, I don't think it gets tricky at all just because of that. You know what I'm saying? We kind of have experience with that with how our team just works. And if you just add Queta, it's just kind of like plugging Rob in there. You know what I'm saying? In a way. And it's Queta KP is, I don't know, bro. I can't wait to see it together. I can't wait to see a healthy Queta KP, bro. That's going to be Christmas for me, man. Can't wait.
It'd also be horrifying if that's how they want to try 3-2 again. Just put those two on the block and have whoever you want on the perimeter. If you want to have Jaylen, or JT as the tip of the spear, and then have D White and Drew on the wings. Like, yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
Good luck, for real.
I guess that is the problem with a 2-3 zone when you have fucking Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser on the wings. It's like, I don't know how NBA coaches sleep at night. I'm serious. Like, they're so good offensively.
Yeah, no, the Celtics, they definitely, I think you get great sleep because it's like, well, fucking nothing I can do about that. The big Gerard Mayo energy. Like, listen, once they're out on the court, that's their problem.
Up to them.
It has nothing to do with me. All right. I did my job already. The Celtics get just 3 days off, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nice little Thanksgiving break. Friday, they've got the Bulls for the cup, Jake. It's for the cup. Yeah, if they win this, do they just get the cup or do we need Cleveland to do something?
So if Cleveland beats Atlanta and we beat Chicago on Friday, we are in. If Atlanta beats Cleveland, we need to get the wild card spot. We will automatically lose the head-to-head to Atlanta. Okay. So we will need point differential will matter. Now, this is a big problem with the NBA Cup. I looked at the schedule, and Atlanta and Cleveland play at 2:30. Okay, now we won't know the other groups for the wild card purposes, but for plus minus, we play at 8:00. So we will know.
No, wait. I'm saying where the Atlanta game? Do they play in Atlanta?
Hold on,
that's big. Down. You playing in Atlanta at 2:30 p.m., bro? You got to think about the night prior, bro. That's huge.
And so they play at Atlanta Friday Thanksgiving. Night.
Oh no!
Yeah, Cavs are getting smacked.
Oh no!
Thanksgiving dinner at King of Diamonds the night before.
Oh, bro! It's over with.
Yeah, so we're playing for the wild card. We need the point differential.
We might need the points.
We're going to need the point differential, and I looked it up as well because last year we played Chicago in the final game of the Cup. And we knew exactly how many points we needed, and we ended up beating the piss out of them. And we just fouled Andre Drummond over and over again.
This is how we fouled the shit out of Andre.
So I looked it up. The Bulls' worst rotation player on the free throw line is Josh Giddey. So I would not rule out a hack of Josh Giddey on Friday night.
I don't hate that. I'm putting some coin on the Hawks right now if that's available because Stiz is right.
That's tough, bro.
That's tough. That's not what you need. That might be too. Yeah,
it's nuts.
I was just going off about the plus minus and just thinking about the friggin' Atlanta strip clubs.
Listen,
logically, brother.
Yeah, when it comes to why do you think LA is so good on Sundays when they have home games? Like it's all part of the equation.
Come on, bro. You coming out to LA on a Saturday night? You got a game on a Sunday afternoon? Good luck.
Yeah, playing in Miami at noon on a Sunday. Like what?
Good
What's
luck,
even the
bro.
point? Why do these games exist? The day after Thanksgiving, matinee in Atlanta.
I'm not with my family. I gotta spend it in Atlanta, bro. Come on, what we doing?
Yeah, I do fear the Hawks are going to win that game. I do. Either that or the Cavs are tremendous nerds. We'll find out. We will have an answer.
We will have answers.
Well, you know what's weird is the two teams play each other Wednesday in a non-cup game in Cleveland. And then they go to Atlanta for Friday. So my guess is like Wednesday night after the game, they're taking a flight immediately to Atlanta so they can spend Thanksgiving there. I don't think Thanksgiving in Cleveland is high on anyone's priority list.
Oh man, that's tough, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
What? Atlanta for Thanksgiving, man. Come on.
Well, knowing that they play Wednesday, like, would they fly late Thursday? I don't think that helps because now you're flying sleepy, and then you get there. What else are you gonna do? You're going right there. You're going right to the club. So yeah, I don't think there's a way unless they fly Friday morning, which sounds like a terrible idea.
You're either going right to food or right to the club. There's no.
Nothing else will be open. It's the only place that's going to be open.
Food and club, bro. Damn.
Yeah, so we're going to have to smack the Bulls for the cup. And then we play the Cavs Sunday in Cleveland. So the Cavs go Wednesday, Cleveland, Friday, Atlanta, Sunday, Cleveland.
They really might give up that Atlanta game.
They
really
might
don't
win the Wednesday game. They might,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like they're playing us, so I know they're not gonna want to lose back-to-backs to us.
No. No, but that's brutal. As bad
That's
as our
brutal.
schedule
That's
is,
what I'm saying. They're not
stinks.
winning one of those. They're not winning one of those.
No, listen, if they lose that Friday one, they might not have the 1 seed by Sunday. You know what I mean? Like that might be dunzo.
Yeah, it's kind of a win-win for us, right? Like either, Cleveland wins on Friday, and if we beat Chicago, we advance, or Cleveland loses, and then, Sunday essentially is for, first place in the Eastern Conference right now. So it's kind of a win-win, or it's a lose-lose, but I'm going to be a glass half full.
We get cracked by the Bulls and then stomped by the Cavs on Sunday. But now that KP's back in the fold and we all assume Al is fine, we know they're not going to be playing. I don't know when we're going to really see them together. Maybe Friday in Chicago, because it's a long layoff for KP. He should be fine. But when we look at next week, they play Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh man, who we playing after Cleveland?
So we got Cleveland and then the Heat in Boston. So we have to go from Cleveland to Boston and play the Heat the next day. Wednesday, we play the Pistons again in Boston. So we're at home for all of these except for the one in Cleveland. We go, we play the Pistons Wednesday and then the Bucks Friday, Grizzlies Saturday. Which games of those back-to-backs are you playing Kristaps? To me, it's the Cavs game for sure. They're sitting for the Heat game. Don't give a fuck about the Heat game at all. The Pistons, I also don't care if he plays at all. And then I'm playing him for the Bucks. If you lose into the Grizzlies, I don't obviously want to lose any of these games. You lose to the Grizzlies, it doesn't really matter. Tiebreaker, none of that. The Bucks have been better as of late. That to me is the game KP is going to play. I might play KP and Al in that game and sit both of them for the Grizzlies game.
That works for me, honestly. Honestly, I don't want to lose to the Bucks. I don't like that. I don't want to lose to the Bucks, and I definitely think we play them. I think we play them both Cleveland too.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Man. Get it rocking, man. We're not worried about.
I'm not resting anybody for the Cleveland game. I think that's a measuring stick game early in the season. Like, there's only so many games that I think can simulate, and this is a little bit of a stretch, but like, there's only so many games in your regular season that can simulate, a playoff atmosphere. And a Sunday in Cleveland, like, that place is going to be rocking. Like, I want all my ammo ready to go. Like, I want all my guys there. And guess what? You know what? If there is a game this season where Al and KP both need to sit, as long as Luke, Queta, and Tillman are there, we have options. Like, we have guys that you can throw. And with JT playing the 4 and him rebounding the way that he had 6 rebounds in the first quarter tonight. Like, that's no joke. He didn't finish with 24 rebounds, but like 6 rebounds in a quarter is fantastic.
He thought about it.
He thought about it, but yeah, just
in terms of you talking about playoff atmospheres, we saw it again against Minnesota. Missoula will keep a short bench in these games. And part of that is because he hasn't had Al and KP healthy yet for any of them. Even tonight against the Clippers, there's no Al and also not a big game. I don't give a fuck what their winning streak was. They employ Kevin Porter Jr. They're not a big game club. It's just not what they do. This Cavs game, to Stiz's point, I don't hate having both of them just to see, all right, are we going to keep it a 3-man bench? Does Queta not play? Is it just Al coming off the bench in those minutes instead with the 2 whites? Is that the move? Because he's been pretty consistent with these 8-man rotations in these quote unquote important games. Obviously, the ones that have become blowouts is a different story, but I don't really count those fourth quarter late minutes. The rotation in that Minnesota game was, here are our 8. And I that's even funnier knowing that they knew yesterday that KP was going to play tonight and they still kept it with that 8.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick question: is Cleveland? Do they have their wing back? The one that they said was going to check around
Okoro.
Is he back?
Know.
I want them at full strength too.
I got to be honest. Kristaps Porzingis and Isaac Okoro, those are not even
I want them at full.
trade-offs.
Hey, Buddha, I just don't want to hear that guy is the reason why again. I just don't want to hear that again. You know what I'm saying?
Cleveland's got
agree.
like 17 rotation players, so it doesn't matter. Someone's going to sit out. Cleveland's going to be like, oh, Karis LeVert didn't play. Dean Wade didn't play. Isaac Okoro didn't play. They got more excuses than I know what to do. Like, no.
They played Toronto yesterday. Okoro did play.
All right, let's get it. Let's run it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see who our core is going to be. We with the healthy KP, who that solid rotation is going to be. I'm excited to see if my boy Queta is going to get those minutes that I think he's going to get, man. But yeah, man, I'm ready for Sunday. Let's rock.
Coley,
I was going to say Oh, go ahead.
I think the other thing to think about, like when we talk about these 8-man rotations, is when you get to the playoffs, like, all right, most teams have like 2 or 3 guys that can play 42, 43 minutes a night, right? Like you look at, if you're LA, right, and you're saying, okay, like LeBron, if we're going to win the game, you got to play 40 minutes. Anthony Davis, you got to play 40 minutes. The Celtics have like 5 guys who you're like, we don't want to take them off the floor. Like, oh, I don't want Drew on the bench too long. I don't want Derek White on the bench too long. Like, we don't have 34-minute players. Like in the playoffs, we have 40-minute players. And that's why you don't need guys 8, 9, and 10 to play significant minutes. And I love Queta just as much as the next guy. But at the end of the day, if we have our 8 top rotation players healthy and ready to go, there is no minutes. And it's sad to say that, but at the end of the, like, we have 8 guys. They are healthy. You might as well roll them out. And I would rather give a guy an extended run and an extended look, than give 2 guys 4 minutes here, 4 minutes there. Like, if
Sure.
Horford's out, pick one, Queta or Cornette. I don't want to see both because you got to get these guys in rhythm and you got to get them ramped up. And the only way to do that is by letting them play for 15, 16 minutes off the bench. I think part of the reason why Pritchard's so successful is because he gets these 8, 9 minute stretches in the first half and then comes in immediately in the second half and has enough time to build, his shots into the offense. He gets up 4 or 5 threes before the first half is over. He's feeling pretty good going into the second half because he's gotten his opportunity. He's gotten his minutes.
Pritchard's been very funny to me recently because when he's wide open, you can watch his mechanics get different and he misses every time. Like he's so shocked that the game clock's not ticking down to 0. There's no one near him. He takes himself out of rhythm when he's wide open. When he has a big in his face, when he's off the dribble, when he's 45 feet away from the hoop, he's so much more comfortable than when he's wide open. It's one of the funniest things I've noticed lately. But we've got 3 games between now and when we record next. We've got a game for the Cup against the Bulls. We've got the Cavs on Sunday. We've got the Heat on Monday. Jake, what do we do in these next 3 games?
You know what I'm doing, Goalie. The 3-0 predictions have been working out pretty well. I think I'm going to stick with that. Let's go another 3-0 week to do it 9-0, 3 straight weeks.
Stiz, how we feeling about these 3 games?
You know how I'm feeling about it too, bro. I'm rocking with Jake. 3-0, baby. Let's get it going.
2-1. Jimmy Butler looks fucking good. He looks good. And if that Heat team's rolling off the back-to-back, I think that the Celtics, they'll have an emotional win over Cleveland, and then Miami's going to punch them in the throat Monday. And if that happens, it happens, because at the end of the day, what we can do is we can sit here and we can digest, what the Celtics need to do to win another championship next week.
Facts, but I'm gonna be real mad if we lose to Miami. Oh, that's gonna do something to me, bro. That's not the one.
The good-looking Heat scraped out an overtime win against the Luka-less Mavs last night. So, they should hang the banner. That's the biggest win the Heat have had about a decade, I would say.
Didn't they put Udonis Haslem's number up to the rafters, right?
Probably. That wouldn't surprise me. It seems like a thing they would do. But yeah, I'm going 3-0. We got so many we lost 3 times in November. Clean it up. We can't be carrying that into the new year. That can't be our December to remember. 3 more losses, unthinkable to me. I don't even know now, especially now that KP's back. Whoa, what are we even talking about? How they possibly the Heat? No, not in December.
Use reverse psychology. If they're listening,
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying.
I'm just going to continue to enjoy my favorite. And it's a week to be thankful. And I give thanks to a man who, listen, he was a great coach. He's a great GM, might be better on the broadcast. Very thankful for Brad Stevens and everything he's done. He was cooking on the broadcast tonight. I don't know if he's allowed to do that full time. I know he definitely doesn't want to talk that many words, but a welcomed addition to the broadcast. Anytime you want to sit down there and start roasting everyone and just talking about guys being out of position and doing all of that. Talked about, he's like, how does Porzingis look? Looks tired. Looks like he hasn't played basketball in a while. So very thankful for Brad Stevens and all that he's given us. Thank you, Brad.
I loved how he was like, like he would be talking mid-sentence. Pritchard hits a three, like no reaction, like just continues going. But then like he'll be talking, the other team will hit a layup and I'd be like, another goddamn layup. Like, can't believe this. Like I don't know if I'd want to watch the Celtics with him.
Unfortunately over here, I had to watch it on the West Coast broadcast, so I missed out on the fun, boys.
Brad was good.
I'm gonna have to go look that up on YouTube now. I didn't even know that was a thing, bro. I missed all that. They was just talking shit.
Yeah, I think Jared Weiss had a lot of the quotes Brad was given during the broadcast. If you can't find to actually watch it, but he was dropping some dimes and roasting Scal and Drew, and just having a grand old time down there. As much as he pretended to hate it, he was really really engaging and really funny. Like you could tell he's at the point where he's like, can we get to the playoffs, man? I'm so sick.
Like, bro,
like check ball. Like, we're ready. What the fuck are the rest of you waiting on? We're good to go. Happy Thanksgiving from the Rollin Jays crew.
Oh, wait. My bad, bro. I'm thankful, obviously, for Rolling Jays podcast and my fellas here, along with Zula Ball, baby. Hey, you're done. It's done so right for me. It's got me a championship. It's got me an undefeated week. I feel like this upcoming week is gonna give me another undefeated week. Shooting way more threes than everybody in the league. You can't figure it out mathematically. You can't figure it out when you step in front of these guys, bro. Zula Ball bringing us home, bro. I don't even know what planet they found you on, brother. But yo, love you, man.
Rhode Island. That's the planet. But shout out Coach Missoula. Always thankful for him, of course. But the one thing that we should have said from that Wizards game, getting the tech. Getting animated, getting jacked up.
Oh, yeah.
A thing he really doesn't do. And it used to kill me with Brad. I like him not getting, like, there is an art to getting a tech. If you go out there like me, get a tech every game, that's not artful. That's just you being a jackass. Missoula has pretty much never pulled that cord to my knowledge. Like, I know he's gotten techs before. I know he's contested shots from the other team. But him getting that animated and being like, we need to change the energy right now, that's leading from the front. And it's not always going to be a player. Sometimes it does need to be a coach. So shout out Missoula for pulling that ripcord in a game that very easily could have ended up just being well, whatever. We lost to the Wizards. Who really cares? No. Every win matters. Let's get this one, fellas. And that really was the turning point.
Joe is a great person to take the attention off of the players. Like, he'll do one or two things a game where you forget about the turnover or you forget about the missed shot because it's like, well, we got to talk about Missoula. Like, he does such a good job of just taking the attention off of the best players. So definitely thankful for Joe. Continuing the theme, I am thankful for Tyrese Halliburton making my podcast number 1 prediction coming true. Let's check in on how he's doing so far. He's averaging less than 16 points a game. He's shooting 30% from 3, and he's shooting 37% from the field. Somebody told me he was a better player than Jason Tatum, who is averaging 29, shooting 37% from 3, and 54% from the field on the best team in basketball. I don't really care about the Cavs because they're from Cleveland, and I don't care.
We beat them.
But
we beat them already.
Yeah, thank you, Tyrese, because oh my God, that just pissed me off. I hope it pissed Jaylen off, or JT off, and Jaylen for that matter, because they're both better than Tyrese Halliburton. And if we see them in the playoffs, it's got to be a 4 or 4 or 5 game series, gentleman sweep at best.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough, Tyrese, bro. That's tough. That's tough on that list. We gotta pull that list up at the beginning of every episode and just show them that they put JT way up under Tyrese Halliburton.
Tobias Harris over me.
Yeah. They had Paul George over Jaylen. It was nasty work. Jake, what are you thankful for?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for the Rollin Jays. I'm thankful that we have probably the best Celtics team I'll ever see in my lifetime. Let's just keep going out there and steamrolling teams and go get another ring.
Oh yeah.
I love the sledgehammer Celtics. That's all I'm going to be thinking about the Mavs moving forward. But we'll be back next week after we go play El Heat. We'll see you guys then.
Yeah, there's evil things that cheddar brings, but I'ma keep around through everything, cause it can hold me down through everything. Bling, bling, designer, everything. I call my plug like, hey, what can you give me? Cross the country, then back to my city. You trap it, you probably move heavy with me. Toast to the times we can never get it. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. All of my niggas tight, wild. Yes, and don't give me a wipe down. I'm in the hood with niggas right now. She wanna put me on with Yikes now, cause me and her ain't clicking right now. And I'm like Floyd, I put the fights down. My niggas shoot and use the knife now. Doing 100 on the pike now. Remember when they put my lights out? Remember when you put me right out? I'm counting a couple bands a night now. So little nigga, you can pipe down. I'm with your wife, she getting piped down. Yeah, there's evil things that cheddar brings, but I'ma keep around through everything, cause it can hold me down through everything. Bling, bling, designer, everything. I call my plug like, hey, what can you give me? Cross the country, then back to my city. You trap it, you probably move heavy with me. Toast to the times we can never get it. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. All of my niggas tight, wild. And then still you run up, get done up. I'm grinding from sun up to sun up. And if you wasn't with me from the start, you can't be there for the come up. I know my dogs is crazy, man, but I love them. Trying to get us rich, ghetto and thuggin'. Dripped all designer, cause I be hustling. Need my money pronto, I don't do cuffing. My bro just got a pound through customs. I take a blunt and overstuff it. You get baked just like the oven. My niggas really with the ruckus. Don't believe you, you be bluffing. I wake up in a different state on them. My shoulders got a different weight on them. My mama tell me that she pray for me. I'm trying to get some real estate for it. And bro just got another case on him. I just hope the devil stay from him. I gotta stash some cash away for him, cause you know one day we'll be straight 100. Yeah, there's evil things that cheddar brings, but I'ma keep around through everything, cause it can hold me down through everything. Bling, bling, designer, everything. I call my plug like, hey, what can you give me? Cross the country, then back to my city. You trap it, you probably move heavy with me. Toast to the times we can never get it. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. This ain't the life, this the lifestyle. All of my niggas tight, wild.